founder of 8weeksout.com and the author of Ultimate MMA Conditioning and the creator of the BioForce HRV system. And really I got my start about 10 years ago. I started working with combat athletes about 7 or 8 years ago, and since then I've worked with a lot of different world champions, guys like Demetrius Johnson and Rich Franklin and Tim Boach, and really kind of been known for my combat athletes and their performance. But before that I also spent some time in the NFL, worked with college football athletes, so it's really been a pretty diverse group of athletes that I've worked with over the years, and really my focus has moved towards education and training people like yourself that are hungry and looking for information, and just kind of helping people learn more and help make athletes better. There is no perfect macronutrient profile or perfect training program for everybody you can supply as a blanket template, because everybody is different, everybody responds differently. It's a moving target. You can never perfect a skill, you can never perfect a training program really, or a nutrient profile. Everybody's different, people can respond differently, and that's going to change over time. So things you might find work really well for an athlete in the beginning of their career might work terribly for the athlete at the end of their career. Certain foods that they might respond very well to at one point might not be what they need at another point. So it's a constant evolution, it's a constant moving target that you want to be able to aspire towards, but there is no end goal, there is no perfect program or nutrition or training or anything that you're ever going to find, and there especially isn't one that's going to apply across the board to every athlete in every situation. There isn't one. So really the biggest picture is just look at that as a way to always strive to get feedback, to find out what's working to what's not working. Never take things for granted. You've never found the perfect combination, because there's always something better, and then what's better is always going to change. So that's really one thing I always want to stress is just that the individualization, monitoring and feedback. Excited over there.
Little party
over there, and then just understanding that it's an evolution. As a coach, you're always wanting to educate yourself.
You got your skills coach, you got your strength coach, you deal with fighters, and they probably got a bunch of coaches. They're BJJ, everyone. So how do we build awareness for the betterment of the athlete, and not just to say, I'm the best coach in the world?
It's a very important point. It's probably the biggest problem I see with combat athletes is that, like you said, they have a jiu-jitsu coach, they have a Muay Thai coach, they have a wrestling coach, they have a strength coach. There's all these different people having all this different work with them, and there's such a level of disconnectedness between what they all are. And the thing is, every coach wants to feel like they gave the guy a good workout and they trained him hard, and so what you get is literally like 10 beatdowns a week from 10 different coaches, and they're very disjointed programs. The biggest thing I think, number one, is a shift in mindset that every athlete's coach is independent, because they're not. Everything that I do as a strength coach affects the skill coach, and everything he does as a skill coach affects what I can do with him. And so I think fundamentally just shifting your mindset to realizing it's a team-based effort. And I'm very fortunate. I work with Matt Hume, who's arguably, I would say it's not even a debate, he's the best MMA coach I believe in the world, and so I work as a team with him, and I'm fortunate to get his insight into what's going on and what the athletes need, and then I give my feedback, and we work together as a cohesive team. Also, the second is just communication and being able to discuss openly with what all the different coaches and all the team, talking to each other, what the athlete needs, what you're seeing, and coming to decisions based on what's best for the athlete, not what's best for your ego. And then third is really just having some feedback that's objective, using HRV, looking at heart rate, looking at maybe blood markers, whatever it is you're going to use. You want that information to disseminate to the different coaches, and then make decisions based on that. And that's, I think, a much more successful approach than just kind of everybody doing whatever they feel like doing.
This is great music in the background. So how can we use the HRV, not just to say, okay, how hard am I going to go today, but it would also tell us, should I even train today? Like, did I get that adequate sleep? What's going on? Like, am I sympathetically driven right now? Am I in a parasympathetic state? Like, what's the deal? So can you break it down to me?
Yeah, so, if you're not familiar with HRV technology, it was developed by the Russians back in the 50s, and like you said, it gives us a way to measure stress and fatigue and fitness in the body. And what we see, like you're talking about, is parents mean well, they want to make their sons or daughters better athletes, and the way they tend to think about doing that is just more. They think, hey, dryland training, then strength conditioning, then skill practice, boom, let's go. But what they don't realize is all that adds up, and all that accumulates stress on their athletes, and then their athletes are stressed from school, and maybe they're not sleeping very well. The best way to think about it is a U-shaped curve, okay? So you started out, nothing is not so good. As you increase how much you're doing, it's better. As you increase, at some point it's better, but at some point you start to see more is actually worse. It's detrimental. So everything in training and stress is generally a U-shaped curve. Some level of it is good. Some level it stimulates the body to improve your fitness. But at some point, more actually makes you worse. It's a detrimental. So more is not always better. You know, as the right amount is the right amount, and everyone's going to have a different level of that. I think at the end of the day, I strove or really was driven to always just educate myself, and I was very open to learning and asking questions like you obviously are, and finding people in the industry that I admired and that I wanted to learn more from. If you're always striving to learn more and you're humble in your approach and you're always just looking to be a better coach, you'll find whatever it is, the area that you belong in, and you'll be something you're passionate about. And I think as long as you are just open-minded and always willing to learn and you're not just set in your ways, you'll eventually fall into the right field or the right area that's field for you. So my website is 8weeksout.com. That's just www.8weeksout.com, and then you can find more about the HRV system at www.bioforcehrv.com, or of course facebook.com/Joel Jamieson. You can find me there as well.
What do you eat when you're cheating? What's your biggest cheat meal? And I won't tell Rob Wolf. I won't tell
You can tell me.
I can tell everyone. All right, cool.
Personally, I go with donuts. I'm a big fan of banana pudding.
Banana pudding, that's the truth.
Dude, banana pudding in Texas is what you want. The best banana pudding so far in Texas is at the Heart 8, which is a barbecue place by Dallas. I think it's like half an hour from the Dallas area. So if you're in Dallas, you want to go to the Heart 8, you want to get their banana pudding.
So after our last interview with Joel Jamieson, and all this talk about this banana pudding, I wanted to see what the hype was really all about. So I drove to Dallas to the Heart 8 barbecue, where Joel said they have the absolute best, most epic banana pudding there is.
We just smashed an immense amount of meat, and now you're looking at the banana pudding that Joel Jamieson is talking about. I'm going to open up this banana pudding. I'm going to place my spoon into this pudding, mix it around a bit, and now I'm gonna try it. So here it goes. Dun, 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 dun. It's a beautiful day. This is some freaking epic banana pudding. Joel Jamieson was not lying.